Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth. It's nice to have you here. So in today's video, we're going to be going over some books that I have recently listened to on Audible. I didn't know how I would feel about Audible, but honestly, totally worth it, 100%. Also, please ignore this. I think I might have sprained my index finger or my middle finger doing something. I don't really know what, but my hand hurts when I do anything, so I've taped my fingers together for a little while just to kind of see how it feels and if the pain goes away. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about two personal growth books because recently I have really been trying to learn more about myself and do more to become the person that I really want to be. You know, you make the mood boards and stuff of who you want to be and what you want your life to look like and everything. And I just want to find the best and most productive way to do that in my life. So I've recently listened to two books on Audible. The first one being The 5 a.m. Club by Ramad Sharma. I really liked this book because it is a personal growth book in the format of a story. And what I mean by that is, yes, you get like the typical tips and tricks on how to better achieve a good morning routine, but through like a fantasy romance novel, kind of. It's almost like a Grumpy Sunshine with personal growth in it. Yeah. So, without giving too much away, it is about three main characters. There is a billionaire, an entrepreneur, and an artist who all meet at this convention to hear this person called the Spellbinder. The great thing about this is none of them know each other before this conference or talk. And they all kind of come together in a very serendipitous way. And honestly, probably one of the best personal growth books that I have ever read. And I've read a few. I'm not going to say that I'm an expert on personal growth books. I do love me some fantasy, some romance, you know, going between genres. I'm working on thrillers, but I'm just getting my feet wet in a couple different genres because I've rediscovered a love for reading in the past year and a love for buying books, if I'm being honest with you. I have tons of books, and if you guys would like to see a bookshelf tour, let me know in the comments down below. But the whole premise of this book is what they use as their saying, which is, own your morning, elevate your life. And the reason that this kind of speaks volumes is you hear people talking all the time. It really isn't necessarily about what time you wake up. Even though it is called the 5 a.m. Club, it's not necessarily about the time you wake up, but studies do show that having a good morning routine really makes a difference in your productivity throughout the day. So a lot of the things that they incorporate are exercise, spending time in gratitude, and making sure that you are planning your day out realistically and not trying to overdo it, which is something I somewhat struggle with because I have a lot to do all of the time, and so I try to cram it in, and then I really get upset when I don't get everything done that I want to get done because I'm being really, really hard on myself. So this book was fantastic in the sense that it's easy to follow. It kind of draws you in like a fantasy book or a romance book, but it still gives you different outlooks on ways to change your morning. So what I really enjoyed was a lot of personal growth books talk about mindset. And this has to do with the next book too, but a lot of personal growth books talk about strictly mindset, how you think about things. And while that's very important, in this book they talk about your mindset, your soul set, your heart set, and your health set. So how they kind of lay this out is obviously your mindset is how you think about things, right? Your soul set is what you do to fill you up. So for some people, that's going to church. For some people, that's going on nature walks. For some people, it's meditation. For some people, it's yoga. Whatever that may be, doing something that really just brings joy to your soul and makes you feel fulfilled. Your health set, obviously, getting a good diet and working out on a regular basis, making sure that you're active so that your body doesn't slow down before your mind does. And then your heart set is dealing with the things that have happened to you in your life that weren't really so pleasant, if we're being completely honest. So the things that kind of drag you down, the stresses, the angers, the traumas and stuff like that, dealing with those things so that you can be more productive in the future is really what the whole heart set is about. And I really like how they discuss these topics and give examples on how to better these sets that you have in your body. So I would highly recommend reading the 5 a.m. Club. I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars just because one of the endings for one of the characters really just I didn't feel was fair. But it was a great book, and I would highly, highly recommend that you read it, if for nothing else than the story, because it's actually a really good story of these 3 strangers who become friends and go on this wild adventure to better themselves, which we love. The second book I'm going to be talking about is You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. This book changed the way that I think about my life. Unfortunately, I got COVID a few weeks back, so I'm still having some side effects from that. Mostly, more than anything, is major fatigue. I am constantly tired, which is very stressful when you have a million things on your to-do list. But the whole thing is talking about, if this is the life you want, and these are the steps to get there, do it. Build up the self-discipline to do it. And I think that mindset and self-discipline go together, but they're separate, because you can have the mindset of somebody who goes out and does all the things and all that kind of stuff, but if you tell yourself, I don't like the way I look, I want to lose weight, so I'm going to go to the gym, and you keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off with no rhyme or reason, you don't have self-discipline. And I am someone who struggles with self-discipline like nobody's business, if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't have super good self-discipline. My husband, on the other hand, has incredible self-discipline, and I admire him because of that, because he does the things that he needs to do, but he also makes time to do the things that will make him a better person and make him feel more accomplished. And I love that about him. He is a super determined man, and I'm so grateful that he is my husband. But this book, I would highly, highly recommend, if only for the free Audible trial, you download this Audible trial and you listen to this book. This book I would highly recommend to listen to, because it is like a book reading and a podcast in one. So basically, the person who is reading the book is sitting in the studio with David Goggins, and so at certain points in the book, when he's talking about his childhood or his Navy experience, or when he, went to whatever training, right, because he's done a million different things, David Goggins is sitting in the room and can give bonus stories, he gives insight, he gives his thought process on where he was at in that moment in time, and it just really brings into perspective that this is a person. Like, this is not just a personal growth book of, oh, you need to do these things and you'll have more self-discipline. No, it is an autobiography as well as a personal growth book, which I think is phenomenal. Being able to share your story and to overcome so many adversities as this man has is insane. He has every reason to not be successful. He has every reason not to reach out to help people, not to want to do more, not to essentially own up to his potential. And he tells all of the adversities and things that have happened to him in his life, he tells them, I'm bigger than this, I'm better than this, and I'm going to prove that by doing X, Y, and Z. And I wholly admire the fact that when this man puts his mind to something, he's going to do it. Point blank, period. That is a theme that you see throughout the book. And even in his failures or his mistakes or his mess-ups, he never backs down from a challenge. Which is just incredible. Especially when it comes to things like going through special warfare military training. He, not to give away spoilers, but he started in one branch and then went to another branch and had trouble with the first training, and then so he did it again and he did it again, and he learned so much every time, and he pushed his body to the breaking point, literally to the breaking point, and came back from that. David Goggins, if you ever see this video, I would love to meet you and shake your hand, and first of all say thank you for your service, but also to thank you for essentially calling me out and helping me realize that all of these things that I want to do in my life, the only person holding me back is me. I have talked about doing YouTube for several years, and I have been too scared to do it, or I didn't want to spend the money to buy the camera. And then I got so lucky that last Christmas my husband bought me this camera. It's a Canon SX740HS. He bought me this camera, he bought me a tripod, he bought me a memory card, and he said, when you're ready, start your YouTube channel, here are the tools to do it, because I'd been talking about how I wanted to do it. One of the things that held me back was I never knew what I wanted to do on my YouTube channel. I didn't know what niche I wanted to be in. And frankly, I don't want a niche. I want to do my YouTube videos how I see fit, and that be that. But after reading this book, I decided I'm going to really get into my YouTube channel. I'm going to get into going to the gym once I don't feel like I'm gonna die when I walk up the stairs like I do right now. And I'm going to make the changes that I want for my life, because I want those things for my life, and the only person standing in my way is me. That is essentially the whole premise of the book. I would highly recommend listening to this book on Audible because you get a different perspective. I do plan to get physical copies of both books that I'm talking about in this video because I would like to reread them and annotate and take notes so that I can have it written down. As for the David Goggins book, though, he does have these things that he's calling challenges. And with the challenges, it's different things of holding yourself accountable. So challenge 1 is take an inventory of the bad things that have happened to you and start working through them. Just an idea. But there are 10 challenges, and I have them here on a note in my phone. But honestly, 5 out of 5 stars. One of the best books I have ever read in my life. And I would highly suggest they put this on high school reading lists for seniors because it really gives you a better sense of what the world is like. Those are the 2 books that I listened to on Audible. I also listened to the Sarah J. Maas Crescent City series, book 1 and 2, because I just couldn't help myself. I listened to them in 6 days, and if you guys would like a video on that, let me know in the comments down below. But for now, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any suggestions for videos you want to see from me, please let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I would love to talk to you guys and to meet you guys down in the comments and have some good conversation, but I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you soon.